Welcome back, mathematicians. This time we're going to be finding x-intercepts or roots for this expression. This expression is a little bit different. I have a number for a that's higher than 1. Okay, so that's going to be make things a little bit more complicated, but not much. It's definitely manageable. I want to find the two factors first, right? So the first thing I want to do, well, we're going to set this guy to 0 because quadratics, it's always a good idea. That's usually what they're looking for. But in any case, let's try factoring this guy. Okay, so I'm going to do what I did before. I'm going to make a big X, right? This time, instead of just using C, I'm going to multiply these two numbers. And it's been called a couple of different things. So I'm going to multiply 3 times 2. Okay? So, and next thing I want to do, well, let's actually multiply that out. So 3 times 2 is going to be 6. Right? That's fine. Next thing I want to do is I want to take this B, right? So I want to take B and put that right here. So that's 5. Okay, and that's a positive 6 and a positive 5. So again, I'll figure out those factors because there's only so many things that'll multiply by 6, right? So again, I always start with 1. That's always good. 1 times 6, 6 times 1, but I'll consider that the same thing. Next is going to be 2 times 3. And again, I'm done. There's no other factors that will multiply to give me a 6, right? Only permutations is what they call them of these two guys. So from there, what I'm going to do is, and again from there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 2 and 3 and place them right here. I'm going to do something a little bit different, right? So 2 and 3 go here, right? So again, make sure you guys are paying attention. Here's the tricky part. We're going to take this A, right? I'm going to change colors even. Let's change colors. Oops, let me undo that. Let's draw a little bit of a sacrificial piece here. I'm going to take this A section, this guy right here. I'm going to divide by A. Okay. So there's a trick that some of us will figure out very quickly involving these points. But for those of us who haven't quite figured it out yet, don't worry. You'll get it eventually. But for right now, I want to simplify this guy, right? So that's going to be 1. And then I'm going to put these factors into my two factors. So when it's a fraction like this, I'm going to put the top number in front, right? So 3x plus 2. And this one's simplified to 1, so there's no top number, right? There's just 1, so x plus 1. Okay, so again, this guy went right there. This guy went right there. And since this one is only a 1, it ends up right there, okay? And again, I'm finding roots. I just took that number, I broke it into its pieces, right? It's a composite of these two expressions, right? I just ripped it apart. And from there, then again, I want to find my factors, or sorry, I want to find my roots. So I'm just going to set each of these equal to 0, because again, if one of them is equal to 0, then both are equal to, or the multiplication of the two is going to be equal to 0. So I'm going to have 3x plus 2, and I have an x plus 1 is equal to 0. So that one went here, and that one went here, and they split up. And again, I'll solve for x for each of these. So I'll minus 2, minus 2. 3x is equal to a negative 2, not a problem. And then divide by 3, divide by 3. Okay, so for those of us who haven't seen this trick yet, it turns out, right, it just turns out that I have the opposite sign of what's here. Okay, if that's too hard for you, don't worry about it. But it turns out, and it's usually the case, that we have, if this is 2/3, guess what this is going to be? It's negative 2/3. If this is a 1, guess what this is? It's a negative 1. So my two roots, my two x-intercepts, are going to be negative 2/3 and negative 1. Yeah, thanks for watching this video, this plus video. I hope it helps. stay tuned. We're going to do a lot more with quadratics.